Hello everyone, today we are talking about our data science project. So, Scopus data with the aim of performing systematic data cleansing, preparation, and exploratory analysis. The objective is to transform raw and unstructured data into reliable data sets suitable for downstream AI tasks. The process data will be then visualized through Streamlit to highlight key patterns and insights. So our members including Nathan, Patira, Pichaya, and Hanachapon. Our content including overview diagram, data preparation, AI model implementation, and data visualization. Alright guys, let's talk about overview. So this project begins by preparing and cleansing research paper data, then developing a machine learning model to classify each paper subject area. Because the original API does not provide that information, it also enriches the dataset by extracting important keywords from abstract and combining them with other provided ones. These keywords are analyzed using K-means clustering to reveal major patterns and emerging research trends across different subjects. Finally, the results and insights are presented through a interactive Streamlit dashboard, giving users a clear and accessible view of the overall analysis. So now let's talk about our data flow diagram. We first prepare data from Scopus gather and clean data since the API does not provide subject areas as I mentioned, build and train a machine learning model using primary data to automatically classify each paper's subject area. Next, we will extract additional keywords using algorithms to pull keywords from the paper abstract and merge them with the other provided keywords. Followed by identify keyword trends with clustering, applying K-mean clustering model to detect major keyword patterns and emerging trends within each subject area. And finally, we will visualize the Streamlit, present the analysis trends and model outputs through an interactive Streamlit dashboard.
So, next is data analysis and population. For the data overview, we focus on the both population and scope. First, we clean the raw JSON data by extracting only the 6 variables critical for our analysis, specifically the abstracts, subject areas, and other keywords. For data extraction, our primary objective was to automate the processing of raw Scopus data, transforming complex, nested JSON files into a format that we could actually use. We focused the code on extracting specific key features, including the DOI, abstracts, other keywords, citation counts, and subject areas. The final outcome was a consolidated, clean pandas data frame exported as a unified CSV file, which served as the ready-to-use foundation for our analysis. Moving to our technical approach, this slide outlines our data extraction code. So, next is subject areas. After running our extraction code, we identified 27 unique fields of study within the dataset. As you can see, this covers a wide spectrum from hard science like medicine and engineering to social sciences like economics and physiology. This diversity is critical because it allows us to analyze trends not just in one isolated field, but across the entire academic landscape, giving us a more holistic view of the data. So, next is machine learning. Since the dataset did not include subject area labels, we built a machine learning model to automatically predict subject areas using only 2 inputs. First, the research paper's title and the publication name. The workflow consists of 3 main steps. First, data preparation. We began by preparing the dataset using the paper title and publication name as the key inputs features and manually annotating the missing subject areas so they can be encoded in a multi-label format. And second, text pre-processing and feature engineering. After that, we perform text pre-processing by merging the 2 text fields into one and applying TF and IDF vectorization to extract meaningful numerical representations of the content. And finally, the model training and evaluation. With these features, we train our 1 vs reset classifier using XGBoost to predict multiple subject areas for each paper. The model's performance was then assessed through a detailed classification report, and we fine-tuned the decision thresholds to improve the F1 score and achieve a better balance between precision and recall. So, the model training includes 3 models. Model to predict subtext areas using TF-IDF vectors, model to extract keywords using TF-IDF vectors, and model using k-mean clustering plus words to vector. So, this is the code of model to predict subject areas using TF-IDF vectors. And this is predicted subject area. TF-IDF transforms the text into numerical features that machine learning models can understand. It helps capture the most relevant and context-specific information by limiting the vocabulary to the 10,000 most informative words and phrases. We also remove common stops words such as the, and of, and we include both unigrams and bigrams, meaning the model looks at single words as well as two-word combinations to better capture context. And next is multi-label. Since each paper can belong to the more than one subject area, we use a multi-label binarizer to convert these texture labels into a binary multi-label format. In practice, this means it creates one column for each possible subject area and marks a value of 1 when the label is present and 0 when it is not. This transformation allows the machine learning model to properly learn and predict multiple subject areas for a single paper.
Classifier design. For our classification strategies, we use a 1 vs rest approach, where each label is learned independently. Our base model is the XGBoost classifier, which performs very well with text-based features. We choose this setup because it scales effectively to multi-label problems, handle complex nonlinear decision boundaries, and work particularly well with sparse TF-IDF representation. The model outputs a probability score for each possible labels, and we then apply a threshold to decide which subject areas are relevant for each paper. This is a classification report that shows key metrics like precision, recall, and F1 score for each label. In terms of model performance, our best threshold was found to be 0.2, and at that point the model achieved a best F1 score of 0.776. This result shows that the model is able to capture subject area patterns effectively while maintaining a good balance between false positive and false negative. Next is text embedding. For keyword extraction, first we begin with preprocessing. We tokenize the text to individual words and then remove stop words, special characters, and anything that doesn't add the meaning. Next, we apply TF-IDF. We calculate the term frequency for each word, then compute the inverse document frequency across all documents. Multiplying these two values gives us the TF-IDF score, which tells us how important each term is. After that, we rank the term based on their TF-IDF scores. Higher score means the word is more relevant to the document. Finally, we perform keyword extraction by selecting the top scoring terms. These become the keyword that best represent the document's content. After that, we find largest cluster in extracted keywords. For this step, we want to find the largest cluster in our extracted keywords using k-mean clustering combined with word2vec. First, we convert each extracted keywords into a vector. We do this using a pre-trained word2vec Google News 300 model from GenSim. This gives us 300-dimensional representation for every keyword. Next, we apply k-means to these vectors. Since each keyword is now represented as a 300-dimensional points, k-mean can group them based on similarities. After clustering, we simply identify the largest cluster.
which represent the most dominant theme among all the keywords. Next is data visualization using Streamlets.
Alright, now let's take a look at our Scopus dashboard. The first pages show keyword trends after choosing a subject area. For example, agriculture, we get a line chart of the top keywords and how their frequency changes over time. This helps us to see what topics are emerging or declining. The next page is about the overall subject area distribution. Each bar represents the number of papers in each field, giving a quick snapshot of which areas are the most active. The third one is the PCA page visualized clustering within the selected subject. Each dot is a paper grouped based on keyword similarity. We can adjust the number of cluster or remove outlier to see clear patterns. And last one, the papers pages list all papers from the selected subject area along with their top keywords so the user can look at specific studies in detail. So the dashboard let us pick a field and instantly export the trends cluster and related pages. Hopefully this gives you a clearer view of the project and what it can lead to. Thank you for your attention.